Hi, everyone. Thank you all for coming. My name is Giordano, and I'm a public policy major here at CMC. And this is actually my first semester here at CMC and my first activity on campus. So I'm really grateful to be here and so happy to see you all here. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. There I was, gasping for air in my bed. It's 3 a.m, a nightly occurrence for my 5-year-old self. At the time, I was suffering from various medical conditions, including a severe and rare form of sleep apnea, which had an effect on the way oxygen flowed to my brain when I was asleep and caused extensive brain damage by the age of 7. As a child, I was constantly curious about the world, always trying to consume knowledge, always trying to learn something new. I was not aware of any difficulty until 3rd grade, when I noticed that my peers seemed to advance academically more quickly than I did. While everyone was on chapter books, I was still on colorful one-page picture books. When everybody was flying through times tables, I was suffering and struggling with subtraction. I began to suffer a grave loss of confidence due to the emerging sense that I was deficient or disabled in a way in which I had no control over. And everyone was noticing. Kids were noticing. I recollect and remember how a kid used to make a terrible song about me and tease me because the adults and educators around me made it so clear that something was wrong with me. Then, over Valentine's Day weekend, that year, my mom got a call. It was the principal at my school on the other line. "We have to have a meeting," he said. And at this meeting, he would inform my family that I would no longer be allowed to attend 4th grade at my private school. My mother quickly ushered me out of his office, hoping that I would not hear what come next. But I could hear. I heard my principal's voice as he told my mother what would be the worst thing to hear as a little girl. "Your daughter would be lucky to graduate high school, but you can forget about college. She won't be able to handle something that rigorous. You need to manage your expectations for her." At that moment, this one man had established my academic identity. My future path was set. I can't learn, and I would always struggle. The system of education that was supposed to help me thrive and give me the confidence to believe in myself had turned their backs on me and failed me. Thankfully, I'm here. My mother helped me find a different path, refusing to let me succumb to any sense of victimhood. She searched and found a program and found a different way for me to learn. A program that worked to target the issue through neuroplasticity, not work around the damage that was already made. I worked under the loving support of my family for years, trying to remediate my neurodiversity, trying to learn. And some of these exercises were hard. They were so hard. One of them, called tracing, where I had to use a very small red felt tip pen to trace in various linguistic symbols. One of them was called clocks, and it was a program that would pop up on the screen, and I'd have to, sorry. It was a computer program that had anywhere from 2 to 10 hands, and I would have to type as fast as I could on the screen the time. This not only helped me with my processing speed, but surprisingly also helped with understanding relationships and complex problem thinking. At the end of my program, I would have to take a progress report, and I was surprised and so happy to see that I scored nearly gifted in all general levels in cognitive abilities and processing abilities. I finally felt in control of my academic identity. This was proof that my brain was not a static fixed organ. It had the ability to change. I had the ability to learn. Now, as a high school graduate and college student, I can proudly say that any sense of being less than is behind me. I was inspired to share my journey with others, so I wrote a book called A Kite in a Hurricane No More, which recounted my efforts to persevere through the disparagement of false labels. As I was unfairly stigmatized, so are millions of others every day. My call to action is, as I wrote at the end of my book, is my journey is therefore not only about my personal struggles and my ultimate triumph, but it is also about the much bigger issue of giving children and people the same choices and courage that I had to overcome. Thank you.